Today we're going to talk about the troubleshooting and maintenance for the Solariver 160 plus gallon per hour solar water pump kit. There's two main components. We have the submersible pump and the solar panel. This is a 12-watt solar panel. Some of the things that we look for if we're having trouble with the pump not running right, we want to look at the panel. In the back here, check the junction box. Make sure the connections, the positive and the negative, are nice and tight and secure, and we don't have corrosion or critters living in there or anything like that. Want to make sure that's nice and tight because that keeps the water out. The next step, if we find that the pump isn't running, is we want to confirm our connections are correct. The connectors themselves have a flat side in each of them. That helps you match up the positive and negative. If those are switched, the pump will not run at all, but putting that together there and then closing the waterproof cap on it keeps the connection nice and tight and dry. Our next step is to talk about the pump itself. Some items to note are the variable flow control. This is used to adjust the water flow that comes out of the output. So if the pump is running but you're not getting any water, make sure you have this turned up. If you're getting too much water, you can turn that down depending on how you're using the pump. And then also the dry run protection. In order for the pump to operate, these must be below the water level in order for the pump to run. This is a safety component that keeps the pump from running if there's no water and will help extend its life by not burning out. Want to make sure that these are clear, there's no debris or algae growing on them or things like that. The next step we're going to do is we're going to open up the pump and inspect and clean it. Our first step here is to remove the filter cover. This slides off the body of the pump and contains a removable, washable filter mesh. We want to make sure that this is nice and clean, no debris, no mud, sediment in there, and we want to make sure that these grates are clear of any debris. Setting those off to the side here, our next step is to remove the variable flow control. Set that off to the side. Now what we're going to do, we're going to check to see if there's any obstructions or debris in the pump itself. In here you can see inside there's going to be a little white thing, that's going to be the impeller. How we expose that is we hold the pump in one hand and then we turn it counterclockwise about half a turn, and then we slide the front of the pump off, taking special care. This white post here is a ceramic shaft. It can be a bit brittle. So we want to make sure that if it stays in the housing cover here, that we're very careful when we both pull it out and when we reinsert it. If it stays within the impeller assembly, which is right here, that is okay as well. So our next step is to pull out the impeller assembly. This is a magnet. This is what's used to help the pump run. We want to look inside the pump here and make sure that where the magnet goes, inside the pump body there is clean and smooth with no obstructions. Then to reassemble, we slide the magnet back in, it'll pop in. We want to be able to turn it and it'll hit these catch points every quarter turn. That's the magnet working correctly, so we want to make sure we can turn it and we feel those little bumps there. Next step to reassembly is to carefully reinsert the ceramic shaft through the impeller into the pump body. Back up here, line it up, twist it back together, and the pump body is now reassembled. Then we are going to reattach the variable flow control. That pops right on like that. You'll notice there's some teeth to hold the settings. We want to put that back on as such. We want to take our covering and reinsert the cleaned filter mesh, being careful to have it in as evenly as possible. When we reinsert this, there's grooves here that match up with the edges of the pump here. So as we put that together, we want to make sure that those are going into the right place so that we get a solid connection there. The other thing we want to note is that sometimes the filter mesh can start to scrunch in there. So what I do is I put my finger in to make sure it gets started. Once it gets past the edge, it'll go on nice and easy. Then I put a finger in here to hold down the mesh in the front so that the variable flow control pops over, and you should be good to go.